Hello, my name is Michael Sawyer, and this is the Portfolio and Capstone presentation for the Instructional Technology Master's Program at Kennesaw State University. So a little about me. My name is Michael Sawyer, and I've been teaching in the Cobb County School District for 6 years now. Um, I graduated my undergrad with a history education degree from Kennesaw State, and I've been teaching in Cobb County ever since. I've taught at multiple schools, middle and high. I've taught at Lindley Middle School, Smith Middle School, Osborne High School, and my current school, which is Wheeler High School. I've taught um, a number of different subjects, but my mainstay would have to be U.S. history, where I am currently teaching U.S. history. Um, Looking at the portfolio itself, the whole electronic portfolio is online. I made it with the Weebly website. It has resume, all of the standards covered, as well as obviously the capstone page, which is what we're talking about today. Speaking of the capstone, so the capstone itself covers 5 different standards: visionary leadership, teaching, learning, and assessment, digital learning environments, digital citizenship and responsibility, as well as professional learning and program evaluation. It covers quite a lot, but the capstone itself is a very in-depth and well thought out and deep process. So the capstone project that I chose to go with is being able to implement cell phones in the average high school classroom. Um, cell phones are an ever changing and every student seems to be having them, especially in the high school level, and they become at sometimes a great distraction. And my thought behind this was to go ahead and let's think about ways to implement successful strategies to keep students involved in the classroom instead of distracted. And that pretty much goes into the problem, the question. How can teachers implement effective strategies for cell phone use in the classroom to limit distractions, but improve student achievements? And I did a lot of research and and uh, looking up different cell phone technologies that could be used in the classroom that that I thought were helpful and valuable to understanding and being able to use them in the classroom to for success instead of distractions. So kind of explaining the capstone project itself, I'm sorry, is first off, it's a two-part implementation plan where in that first semester I am going to be implementing these classroom tools and web tools, digital tools in my own classroom. And then the second semester would be uh, continuing the implementation with the new crop of students, as well as creative professional development for teachers to share in the ideas of implementing cell phone engagement in the classroom. The digital tools I used first was Poll Everywhere. Uh, it is a great little device where you can just on the spur of the moment have students text in and answer multiple choice questions, or they can even do a text wall now of a certain topic or question, and really kind of do a really quick check of understanding with the students. It's in my opinion one of the neatest things out there. And my original plan was to use something called so creative, but after further research, I decided to do a online web flipped classroom idea called Schoology, which has been a tremendous help in the classroom. Um, and the second semester implementation will be the obviously continuing with these two Poll Everywhere and Schoology with the new crop of students, and then as well as creative professional development for teachers to implement the same successful implementation of cell phone engagement in their classroom. The evaluation process, pretty simple, is I first have a student evaluation after the semester. We're asked them several questions, so to speak. How many classes are they allowed to use a cell phone in? Does it use them? Do they use a cell phone for distraction, or does it help them, stay involved in the class and engaged in the class? Do they use the cell phone um, to access educational sites? It's one thing I do in my classroom a lot is I created a website that I allow the students to get on the website and look up information all the time that can help them out. And then after the um, semester two, the part two implementation plan, I asked the teachers the same thing. What sites do they use? Did they see an increase or decrease in distractions because of the cell phone use and so forth? And I looked at the data from both of these, and it was positive results for both sites. Or I'm sorry, for both plans that I put forth. All right, so moving on to kind of describing the capstone. Um, First off, it was a very successful process of implementing Poll Everywhere with the students. They really enjoyed it. Um, I was able to start using Poll Everywhere pretty much uh, after that first week of school. I always say the first day of school, we're going to be doing stuff, we're going to be using the cell phones a lot. And then you can go ahead and, be ready for it. And they were pretty surprised after, the first week that we were actually using it in the classroom. Um, and I use it a lot for the check for understanding to make sure that all students are on the right page. I like to do the text wall that comes with this, and students can really just I can really see what they're thinking, and it's another way of just another way of assessing the students. And then Schoology, first day of class, I have them sign up for the Schoology account. Those who can download the cell phone app, it's a fantastic thing. I then will post, weekly discussions, or post a YouTube video that I couldn't show in class, or a political cartoon, a small reading, and just have them kind of have an online discussion about the historical topic we're talking. The second part was creating, after that first semester, that is, taking the data from that first semester and creating a technology workshop for the teachers. And I was able to create a website for assistants. And the teachers really enjoy the website because they can access that at all times and get these handouts that I created for the Poll Everywhere in the Schoology, and the ones that I've talked to since the workshop have really thought about implementing Schoology in the next semester, but they've already experimented a little bit with the Poll Everywhere, and they really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So continuing on, so the total capstone experience I thought was really good because it allowed me to build positive relationships with my students as well as my colleagues in using technology resources. Um, and talking about how comfortable I got with using Poll Everywhere in the classroom. I was using it pretty much once to twice a week, and same with Schoology. I use Schoology quite often. Students know that if they miss a day in class, I can go on there and see what they missed, and I'm leaning towards going into more of a flipped classroom because of the success I've had with Schoology. I gained uh, an abundance of knowledge being able to create the technology workshop website and website building. I've built several on the Weebly site from then uh, after this experience, and it's a lot of fun. And just gaining the technological facilitator experience after holding the professional development has been a great idea. I've also just gained a ton of knowledge from hosting professional development workshop, and I look forward to being, a technology facilitator in the future. The overall capstone results, the student participation in the class with Pull Everywhere and Schoology with the cell phones has been nice to see, to actually see the students using the cell phones in the class for good instead of just as a distraction. Obviously, there's going to be the distractions, and I will say though, afterwards, there has been less distraction because of cell phones and more student engagement. Um, Obviously, with the professional development, teachers gained a new knowledge, and they thank me all the time of introducing to them the idea of Schoology and how Schoology works, and how how awesome it is to be able to use Poll Everywhere in class, and they continue to uh, you know just be thankful for the technological strategies that they can now use in their daily lessons. Um, so in conclusion, talking about some of the research I've done, you can see right here the different copyrights, the different people I've researched, and Liz Cole was probably with her cell phones in the classroom, a practical guide for educators was probably the most helpful website. Um, but they have all been very successful in helping me with the capstone and to make this a success. Uh, so overall, I have had a great time with this, and I really learned a lot, and I feel has become a tremendous technology asset to my school and myself. Thank you.